Hey guys, and welcome to Let's Play SimCity 4 with me, X2X. I've been thinking about what to do to keep the content like really fresh and interesting, and sort of do something that I haven't done before. And one of the things I've thought about is I'd like to build a region this size, and I'd like to see what's the maximum number of people I can actually jam pack into a region. So I think I'm going to leave high wealth sims out of it. So just go like medium and low wealth, but I'm curious as to what the maximum population size I can actually achieve is. So I'm going to show you guys. I saw like there's some videos on YouTube floating around, that are like how to build a giant city in SimCity. And they're all like really bad. I mean, not really bad. I guess they're fine if if what you're looking to do is like if that's your type of. I guess what I'm trying to say is like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just pretend I didn't say anything about somebody else's videos. What I want to do is I want to see what the maximum space we can jam a city into actually is, and in that respect, I'm the first thing I have to do now that I've gotten myself completely off track is I have to maximize the amount of jobs that I've built in the rest of the region. So. So I want my residential demands to be gigantic. Yeah, okay, that's good there. I want the residential demand to be big, but I also want to make sure that I have like good routing. Is one of the problems. Man, I gotta build another nuclear plant. That's so ridiculous. So what I'm planning on is garbage land's almost full. I'm planning on having the roads run. I only want one highway. I don't want a bisected highway like I have in Halifax. I only want one highway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a highway into Vancouver this way, which will take a little bit of janking around to make that work properly. So there's a bit of development we'll have to do for this city right here. But what I want is I want just one perpendicular parallel. I don't know. One horizontal highway going like that, and then most of the transit between these two regions is gonna be subway, then buses, and then on ramps, and then I'm gonna fill these two sides with like 80% residential, like jam pack as many people in there as we can possibly fit. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set it up so that I have the pre-building guidelines set up for that. That's a problem right there, for one thing. Shut up. It's yelling at me about. And then we've got some demands here for, I think, manufacturing. So I want to exhaust that. Yeah, lots of dirty, lots of manufacturing. And actually, if you look here, there's almost no commercial office building or high wealth commercial in this zone. Most of that, I think, has to do with the fact that Vancouver's consuming that much. Mainly, what I want is basically, I guess I want to. I want to be able to produce content working up to. Man, my city's really robotic. I was just watching Mad Menyo play, and he's got such his roads like they're very creatively laid out. So I don't know. I find that interesting. All right, so that's all good like that. I was supposed to put a gutter here for transport, but I'm not having trouble with traffic at this point in the game. Just let the city do a little bit of growing. I have water laid out, not for everything. Eh? And the main thing I want to do is I want to be able to show you ways in which you can build, like, you can get like a lot of sims in your region, maybe not quickly, but efficiently. Because efficiency is a good thing. I really probably should have read that error. No. No. I'm just going to delete all of those notices here. So is that it? Man, we have so much more. I don't know why it's taking a long time to grow in these areas. There's got to be something. Not desirability, that's for sure. Traffic? No, see, this is... What do you mean city infrastructure threatened by... What did it say? By power funding scarcity. This is probably one of my WTE plants, yeah. Well, there's a reason it's producing no power. The power it produces is incredibly expensive. Alright, so we're going to put down... Oh, come on, grow. Alright, I'm going to let it grow and I'm going to zone these two areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put down some mass transit because mass transit is good. And it's going to be like, the bus stops don't have power. I don't know why a bus stop needs power, personally. I don't think a bus stop needs power. All things equal. I mean, unless it has lights, in which case I guess I could understand why a bus stop would need power. Zone is too large, my eyes. And so, I keep getting sidetracked. Monorail stations look pretty cool, but I have a feeling they're not very efficient. At least not unmodified. Blank. 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 One connection there. Disconnected to this region. Did I not build? I guess I must have done the same thing down here. Oh well. Alright, how's the demand going? Ooh, still got a lot. Alright, so I'm going to pause that. So that's pretty good. And then we're going to build another nuclear plant. Nuclear. I don't know how it's supposed to be said. And I, well, quite frankly, don't care. I'm actually going to build another one. These are so expensive, but it's worth it to have them because they just generate like a buttload of power. Yeah, alright, lots of power. I'm probably going to have to route through the region, so I don't know if I'm going to do it through Halifax or I'm going to do it through Vancouver. Probably Halifax because I don't want to ever have to actually go back to Halifax. But as far as Vancouver is concerned, there's a couple of things, or as far as this city's going to be Toronto. And the reason I'm making it Toronto is because it's going to have a lot of people in it, and Toronto has a lot of people in it. And that's my rationale. Oh, I see. Alright, so I need a couple of things. The first thing I need is I'm going to need water, and I'm going to route water from Halifax. Does Halifax have a lot of capital? Yeah, Halifax has a lot of capital. Alright, so we're going to be routing two things. We need to route subway cars to make sure that our region is fully connected, and I'm guessing it's not going to matter. Tramont Road, that's kind of neat. All these NAM things that I like never use. I'm guessing that it isn't nearly as important. I wonder if I can route query. Man, that's kind of cool. Must show me like no. How many people are riding there? 37,000 subway riders. kind of neat stuff. I want to make sure that my subway's connected. So I've got my subway connection here. And we need a power connection. And I could make it right there, actually. That's a pretty good place to make it. I, of course, forgot to set up a timer, so this video is probably going to be fucking gigantic. I don't know if, like... I started doing the episodic videos, you know, and tracking when I was... You know, which episode was going where. Oh, that's kind of cool. These guys have, like... Oh, where did I thought there were signs. Oh. Yeah, there is. Cool. There's like... with a cat. That's Max's for you. Always being silly. Alright. What was I talking about? Oh, the moving to episodic gaming. Anyway, I guess that's a conversation for another day. Moving to episodic gaming. You know, changing the way I record and break videos up, giving it a little bit better of a break, so you can sort of like watch some videos and then watch others and whatnot. So, anyway, so I don't know. I'd like to have equal distance, but I don't want it to be like directly in the middle because I don't want it to run into the other T intersection. So I think what I'm probably gonna do is go. Well, I can always move the one in Toronto, I think. So that's it for highway. I'm just going to have one big highway that moves through and then a couple of on-ramps. And I'm going to try to do it... differently. I don't know if avenues might be just way too clogged. But who knows. Yeah, see, here's a problem there. How am I going to fix this? Could have two of these, and there's no city here from what I understand, right? I'm not that short on capital. A very bad feeling that I can't fit an intersection in right there. But what I can do is monkey around. Worst case scenario, we'll just save and not, or exit and not save. So let's see, if we go like, where are you? Highway. Crumble. Crumble, 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 crumble. Ah. Ah. No, we gotta go to here and then like that, and I still don't think I can run a intersection through the middle there. How the hell am I gonna make that work? Just go even farther back? I moved to episodic videos instead of like when I was recording WoW and earlier my SimCity videos. It was just kind of like I'd record, you know, for however long it took me. Then once I was done that, I'd just upload them all and then break them into small little parts. And I stopped doing that because the break in my speaking felt a little jarring. So I don't know if I should continue on with that or not. But anyway, it's how I've been doing it, so. NAB makes these highways kind of a pain in the neck to do, but that it actually believe it or not, it actually is like substantially better than beforehand. You know, man, I spent a lot of money trying to make this jiggity jank work. Was that, did I just build a ground highway? What the hell? Ah, gotcha. So, I had a couple of goals for this video, none of which I seem to be achieving, ironically. Connect to the screen. Why you no connect? Maybe I need to make it a little bit more out. Well, as riveting it is to watch me fuck things up and make mistakes. Mistakes are fun. I had a couple of goals, none of which I'm going to get to. So, with the release of SimCity 5, which I will be Let's Playing, and probably playing a lot of, I've gotten the comment, not multiple times, but it's definitely something I've talked about in my real life when people ask me, like, oh, what do you think about the new SimCity? What do you think about Origin? What do you think about all of those kinds of things? And I had, like, recently done a little renaissance with, whatchamacallit, XL, Cities XL. And mostly I had been playing it a little bit just because I was like, I wanted to remember what I hated, you know, what I don't like about the new age city building games. So I think I'm going to talk about that, like, in either this video or in between this video and the next video, to try and explain what exactly it is that, like, I expect a new city building game to be like, and what Grand Railroad Station provides. I don't think I've ever unlocked that before, for obvious reasons, because I don't use rails. What I wanted to talk about was, like, what I don't like about city builders, what I don't like about the new age of city builders. So, the first thing that I cannot stand about the new age city builders is, like, one of the things they do is they want to give you, like, they want to give you absolute control now. So when you build a, what am I looking for here? Where'd you go? An exit going to there, and for now that's fine. So one of the things that they do is they'll, like, Excel is really bad for it, is they'll be like, okay, here's a ploppable, everything in that game turns into a ploppable. So in SimCity, you build, when I want to make a residential neighborhood in SimCity, what I'm actually doing, and it might be a subtle distinction, and it might not be the kind of distinction that really matters to most people, but what I'm actually doing is I'm not, like, saying, I want a house here, you know, I want a house here, I want a house there, and I want a house there, right? So instead of having, like, a 4x4 block where I'd be like, okay, that's a house, okay, that's a house, okay, that's a house, and it's a uniform size and, like, a uniform style of construction. Essentially what you're doing is you're plopping down a house. And to be fair, this might be, like, a whole bunch easier. There we go. Boom. Look at those demands. If I were just to explain it playing Cities XL, because Cities XL does a really bad job. But in SimCity, you put a zone there, and then that's where the control stops. Okay, these zones are now zoned for residential. But I can't say I only want high wealth there, I only want medium wealth there, I only want low wealth there. I have to actually go through the game and edit it through taxation to make sure the only thing that grows here is the kind of demand that I want to be here, right? So for this city, I said I don't want high wealth Sims, so I'm actually going to tax high wealth Sims, and they're not going to want to live here, all right? I don't want high wealth commercial offices, but I am going to allow medium wealth commercial offices to be built here. And one of the reasons I'm going to do that is because it's going to be one of the places where my Sims want to work. And I'm not going to put a lot of commercial down here, just a little bit. I'm having two conversations, by the way. So if you're like, blur, what are you talking about? In SimCity, I have to actually play the part of a mayor, not a city architect. Okay, so while I can put down zones and I can structure neighborhoods and I can build infrastructure, I can't actually say I want there to be an office building here, I want there to be a store here, then I want there to be a gas station here, and I want right here to be a tall tower. And then I go over here and I want this here and this here and this here. And that's how Cities XL works, and it really ruins the concept of being the mayor. Like it puts you in too much control, and I think that SimCity 5 is going to do a good job of that. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. That might have just been confusing the issue. Man, I did that perfectly. First time. Yeah. So, the first thing we need is I only want the highway and the buses to use this overpass. I want the subway to do... I'm sort of just making this up as I go along, but I want the subway to be the vast majority of transportation towards Halifax. Because Halifax is here and Vancouver's here. So I'm going to build a grid for the subway, just like I'm building a grid for the highway, and I hope it works out. There's a good chance I'm just going to go completely bankrupt. So one of the things I'm going to do in this city is I'm actually going to build way more residential than we're used to. And I'm going to build very little commercial. Not a lot, like about half as much as you might expect me to build, for example. Like I might only put, commercial building there. I'm actually going to change the way I've done this. I can't believe you've done this. Because we're going to go like this. We're going to go 4 and 4 side by side, and then we're going to make a space for mass transit. And we're going to do the same thing like that, and then we're going to go to here, and we're going to D-zone that, and D-zone that. And then let's say every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every 6 residential buildings, I'm going to put a commercial building in. Right? So we'll go like boom and like boom. I don't know how this is going to work out, but hopefully it works out. Hopefully it does. This is all like... No, don't want to do that. The city's going to run out of money if I'm not careful. Let's say like that, like 3 to 1. I'm fine with. Spending money. So this city, probably theoretically, this city's going to take a really long time to actually achieve the kind of growth it needs. In this area, I'm going to put the bus stops on the avenue. Be nicer to have them side by side like that, but it doesn't work that well. So and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring that around and just work our way towards the middle here. I'm going to use avenues like, we'll do like 1 city block, 2 city blocks, 3 city blocks, and then like an avenue, and then our services and stuff like that. I don't know if high tech demand is necessarily the best way to, or sorry, blip. I don't know if high density is necessarily the best to be zoning for that commercial, like whether or not it's a good idea or whether or not I should just be going with like medium density, because they'll eventually become office buildings. But most of the people living in these neighborhoods are going to be commuters. We are going to have to build quite a bit of commercial in our other zones to provide them with enough jobs, because it'll be quite hard to provide them with enough work to keep the residential in this area growing. And we're gonna hit demand caps pretty early. For now, what I'm doing is I'm just gonna section off. Yeah, not what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna do one part to like get a sense for what it's gonna look like, and then I'm gonna hop regions a little bit. And this video is almost over anyway, I think so. Hopefully this concept works. Sometimes my concepts just blow up in my face, but like one of the things I think a lot of other people use when they're like, oh, I'm going to build, you know, the biggest SimCity region ever, exclamation point, 111, is they're thinking like, you know, they use the most possible space that they can cover, and that's just not my style. I like these medium-sized plots just because that's my style. So we've got like huge demands. We got power coming in. Power lines will be temporary, as always. I think, you know, we go like da da da, neighbor deals, buy some power, buy some water, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could do this more efficiently, but 1, 2, 3. One of the things I think like is, I don't necessarily know if it's one of the challenges, but it's definitely a measure of how you're succeeding, is how many Sims you have in your region. And this region is going to be pretty good for that. So we got a whole bunch of gifts, which I'm going to place in various areas. 2 statues there. Did I get any other? I got the House of Worship and that thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue building in this style and just continue slowly expanding towards the right, and just like motioning with my hand. And then I think I'll go like one, I'll build another one here, and then put an avenue along here, and then put my services right in there, so they'll capture like maybe not even a quarter, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 blocks. And then if I have to build 2 or 10 hospitals, I'll do that. Turn on the city ordinances and just keep going. But for now, the plan is as many Sims as I can possibly squish into Toronto as possible before, creating like a disastrous city. And we'll have to probably use Vancouver garbage land, and I imagine this city right here for jobs to be able to sustain the population. It's in Toronto. I may even have to come back and put commercial districts where the manufacturing districts are there. But the plan is to keep growing. And so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'd like to do like a my thoughts